head coach goes for it more on fourth down. He's done it 3 more times tonight since he's been head coach in 2021. Ali will take a knee. Will come out to the 35. Think about Dan Campbell taking over in 2021. He got 3 wins his first year, 9 wins his second, 12 wins. Franchise record 15 last year. He's got this team humming again here in 2025. This is a big win here tonight in Baltimore after that loss at Green Bay. Yes, they beat the Bears, but this has a different feel.
I agree, and they all count the same. You know, there's 17 of them, but there are some that feel a little bit different, and this is one of those.
Still a minute 42 remaining, 3 timeouts, but a 14-point game now as Bateman downfield inside of his reach. Terrion Arnold with good coverage that time for the Lions. Lamar Jackson, his numbers, 18 of 24, 210. Those long drives just kept him off the field. They had 2 drives of over 95 yards for touchdowns tonight, the Lions did.
Yeah, just 49 plays right now offensively for Baltimore. And they had their opportunities, and offensively they're not going to feel good about what they did.
2nd down and 10. Jackson in trouble again, and another sack. This time it's Anzalone and Al-Quadin Muhammad, who's been everywhere tonight, and that is a 7-sack night for the Lions on Lamar Jackson. Kelvin Shepard better get a game ball in this one tonight too.
Yeah, you know, I mentioned it. I was as anxious as anyone to see how the Lions would do with new coordinators. These guys, John Morton, Kelvin Shepard.
Big hit by Branch, and a nice job by Hill. Survives that hit. Out of bounds he goes.
You know, you really got to give Dan Campbell all the credit. You know, we show the win totals and how he's increased them. He'll have a hard time increasing from last year.
Yeah,
15-2. But you know, it's hard when you lose your coordinators. It's hard when you lose as many coaches off the staff as he did this past year. And then you're replacing them and then starting over. And I mean, it is really hard on a lot of levels, football-wise, but also to him personally. And yet he filled those vacancies, and by all accounts, it looks like he did a great job with it.
Nice throwing catch. Bateman made the grab. It's a total of 8, if you want to put a number to it.
Yeah.
The 2 coordinators and 6 assistant coaches, and yet they filled in. These teams kind of mirror each other. They've got great coordinators. They've got GMs that find talent everywhere. They've got good ownership. Got a head coach that is in control, in charge. They've got great rosters. And for Dan Campbell to fill in with 8 new coaches under him with the Lions, it's impressive. Jackson steps through. Chased down from behind, and now out of bounds as Branch gets there for Detroit.
You know, when we talked to Dan Campbell about the respect that he has for the Baltimore Ravens, and he said as a first-time head coach, you ask yourself what you want your program to look like, and Baltimore is that team. And they've been doing it at a high level for 30 years, and Dan Campbell said, you know, that's what I wanted my program to look like, the way in which they compete, their physical style. They're aggressive, and everything is kind of in unison throughout the organization. The people they bring in, Eric DaCosta, of course, who replaced Ozzie Newsome as the general manager, and there's so much continuity in how they run the organization in Baltimore, and Detroit has been the same way, and the proof is in the results.
There's Ozzie, Hall of Famer 2 times over. 2nd down and 7. Jackson backpedaling. Andrews wide open, one-on-one, and he'll take it in. His 2nd of the night with 29 seconds to go. They'll go for 2, and then we'll have an onside kick. Nothing happens easy in this league. Yesterday was a crazy day around the NFL. This would easily go down as the craziest if the Ravens were to get up off the deck 14 points down with under 2 minutes to go.
You know, we've been around this game a little too long, as has Jared Goff. When we showed him, you saw the look on his face after that touchdown.
Two-point try will be their first of the year. That's it. Flips it. Flag is down in the end zone. And it's a hold against the Lions. We've referenced the crazy day that yesterday was around the NFL yesterday.
Defense number 32. Ineligible receiver downfield, offense number 77. Penalties offset, retry.
So we'll retry the two-point conversion. There were 9 defensive and special teams touchdowns this week, most in 5 years. And the first day in NFL history with multiple blocked field goals returned for touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Both with under 2 minutes to play yesterday. Backpedaling and incomplete for Zay Flowers. And here's a little look at what the league presented to us yesterday.
The kick is blocked. Field goal attempt is blocked. Scooped up and will be taken all the way. It's over, and the Chargers remain undefeated. San Francisco is in first place. They win it at the horn.
So there's just some of it in week 3. The special teams craziness. Blocked field goal return for a touchdown to end the game for Philly. They blocked what would have been a game-winning field goal had it been hit by the Rams. And then you can look at those other little nuggets right there. It's crazy. And now, I guess what would only add to that would be if the Ravens come up with the second successful onside kick of the season. Teams are 1 for 11. The only team to get one was Carolina in week 2 at Arizona. One other little note before we run out of time at the end. This is only the second time the Ravens defense has allowed 4 rushing touchdowns at home in their 30-year history since '96. That's what the Lions have done tonight. Luke, the rookie, will try and come up with a perfect kick. Up it goes. Laporta, who's in a nice night. And the Lions will take over with 27 seconds to go. And that'll do it.
That'll do it. This is, as you mentioned, Joe, this was going to be a good win for whoever won it, but for Detroit to be able to win on the road, you can see what it means to Dan Campbell and that sidelines and everybody in a Lions uniform. But you know, this is the Ravens team that I still think is one of the best, and you know, you dig yourself a little bit of a hole. The good news is there's still a lot of football left to be played. But they got a lot to clean up.
There is some bad news, though. They do have 3 upcoming opponents the next 3 weeks that all played the divisional round of the playoffs, and they will head into Kansas City next week with a record of 1-2. That game on Sunday. This is an 8-point win for the Lions to get to 2-1, and this was an impressive night all the way around for Detroit. 38 carries on the night for the Lions, 224 yards. 4 touchdowns. Goff 20 of 28, 202, 1 touchdown, no picks. He made some big throws when they mattered most.
Well, he sure did, and what they were able to do on 3rd down tonight, you know, it was in a lot of ways a difference. But when they needed him to make the throw and deliver, he did it.
Let's send it down to Laura Rutledge with Jared Goff.
All right, I'm corralling it here. Jared, let's start with the going for it on 4th and 2. You make an incredible throw to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Why did that play work?
Yeah, we kind
of had that one in our back pocket all day, and I was kind of begging for it throughout the game. And Dan was holding it, and that was a perfect moment for it, and it worked great.
It looked like you were telling David Montgomery to go down too before he scored, but then he scored, right?
Yeah, I think I might be wrong there. I think we won a score there, so I'm glad he did. But I was thinking the game might have been over, but I'm glad he scored.
Yeah, worked out well. How would you describe the way this offense operated tonight, really eating up the clock and doing the things you wanted to do?
Did exactly what we wanted to do. We talked about it all week, being able to sustain long drives, keep their offense off the field, and we needed all these points tonight, and that offense is dang good, and we got them all.
What can you say about your defense limiting Lamar at times?
They were incredible. They really were, and they were forcing turnovers. And to be honest, we didn't capitalize great on turnovers, but we did enough to win, and I thought our defense was stellar.
All right, thanks so much, Jared. Congrats.
Appreciate it.
Joe.
Yeah, Laura, just to put a number to it, 7 sacks by that Detroit defense, none by the Ravens tonight of Jared Goff. And what a night it was. Back and forth they went. And in the end, it was Detroit getting the 8-point win to get to 2-1 and send the Ravens to 1-2. Final score 38-30. Until next week, our group will be in Denver for the Bengals and the Broncos. Also the Dolphins and Jets in a doubleheader. Monday Night Postgame presented by Nationwide. SVP starts now.
Joe, thank you very much. Coming up on SportsCenter, Amon-Ra St. Brown will join us on the set. We will take you inside the winning locker room. We'll hear from both sides, the winning coach and the losing side as well. If you've been watching on ABC, your late local news is next on ESPN. The Nationwide postgame is just 90 seconds away. We will see you there.